Introduce you right here to our judge for the morning. This is Mr. Matt Leo. He is from Southern California, where he and his wife Amanda and their two sons, Brody and Tristan, own and operate Leo Brothers Cattle Company. Matt is a graduate of Texas A&M, where he was on the judging team and graduated with an animal science degree. Matt has judged the following shows: the Angus Junior Nationals, the Hereford Junior Nationals, Simmental Junior Nationals, Arizona National, Georgia National, Keystone International, Fort Worth Stock Show, San Antonio National Western Stock Show, North American, Odessa. The list goes on and on. Let me just put it in a nutshell for you. A more qualified gentleman you will not find. And with that, we are going to get it underway and welcome into the Ford F-150 show ring, your first class, class number 1. Coming at you right here, junior heifer calves, Calvin March first and following. Just got one calf to take a look at here. Coming from Cade Barney of Klamath Falls, Oregon. Tag number 279. This is going to be your junior heifer calf champion. Then we'll go right into class number 4, tags 276 and 272. Be thinking about it, please. And from the block, we do appreciate it if you would. Please make sure you are wearing the appropriate number that corresponds with the animal and the class that you are showing. Please and thank you.
Well, good morning, and what a good way to start off with out here. We've got a single entry that comes out, a calf that's really nice in the way that she's put together. One that balances up so good from end to end. She's really pretty fronted out here, really sound on her feet and legs, and I like the angles she's got. One, you sure like the rib shape and the power she packs out here. Nice female. Congratulations to you.
Awfully nice start to the South Devon show right there. That's Cade Barney from Klamath Falls, Oregon. That's going to be your junior calf champion. EGR Murray Lou. That one's sired by NIO John Wick out of DLCC MS Della. We're going to go right now to class number 4. These are intermediate heifer calves. Capital in the months of March through August of 2023. Got a pair of them for you to look at. 276, shown by Jackson Van Auer of Valier, Montana. And from Sierra Steinlich to Valley Falls, Kansas, tag number 272. And don't forget about your official photographer of the NILE for 2024. It is none other than Next Level Images of Mount Pleasant, Texas. All champion and Reserve B champions are required to have their backdrop photos taken. And if you want to see the photos that they're getting, and believe me, they're getting some good ones, go over to the corner of the building, just kitty corner across from where I'm sitting right now. I believe that's the northeast corner of the building. And you can check out all the great photos that they got. Julie Damon, Pella, Iowa. You're needed at the staging area, please. Julie Damon of Pella, Iowa. You and tag number 270 are needed at the staging area.
Two really nice heifers that come out here, and the young people do a great job with them, getting them shown. The heifer we're going to start off with for me is one that I think you grab pretty quick in terms of having some body volume and some depth. She does that. She's a bigger boned female that I think stouter in the way that she's put together. I like the soundness, the structure of this female. I like how broody she is in terms of her type, yet still very functional. There's no doubt the heifer right behind her does have the advantage of being longer and leaner about her front end. I think she's cleaner through her throat latch and down through her chest floor. Really sound, structured, and loose in terms of her spine, and functional back through her hip and through her hock. She just gets a little bit outpowered out here today and outmassed compared to that black heifer. Two nice females. Congratulations to you.
In reserve of the class right there, tag number 272, Sierra Steinlicht of Valley Falls, Kansas. And the class champion comes out of Lear, Montana. Jackson Van Hour with tag number 276, Frazier Wright, Zoe 2. That's going to be your intermediate champion and reserve, which is going to bring us seamlessly right into class number 5, junior yearling heifer calves. These calves came to us March 1st through the end of April, and there's 3 in the class here. Tags number 273 from Sierra Steinlicht of Valley Falls, Kansas. Also tag number 277 from Jackson Van Hour of Valier, Montana. And the aforementioned Julie Damon of Pella, Iowa, bringing us tag number 270.
Nice set of females we've got out here, and two differences in terms of type, I think, on these top two. The young man we're going to start off with out here for me, the heifer's about more my speed. I think she's just a little bit stouter and burlier in the way that she's made. I like her rib shape and how stout-bodied she is. You get right behind her, she's got an advantage of being wider through her pin set. She's got more meat and muscle to her, yet at the same time, she's still real good looking. In a perfect world, we could lengthen her out through her neck and see her neck just a tick leaner and trimmer about the way that it's made. But I like the added power and body volume that female's got. The heifer right behind her is one I like an awful lot. When you study her from the side, I think compositionally she's got the advantage. She's leaner fronted. She's longer necked. She ties in neater and smoother at the top side of her shoulders, and she's really loose in terms of her spine and level and square back through her hip. You like her undercarriage. Now she carries it. When you compare to that heifer about above her there, she's one when you get right behind her. She's just a nickel narrower. We'd like to stouten her up in terms of her bone work. The heifer we round the class off with comes out. She's one that's presented to a T. Young lady does a good job of getting her shown. She's one for me that just gets a little bit funny on those back two when she tracks. We'd like to change her up through her shoulder and the angle of it there and balance her up a tick better from end to end. 3 nice females out here. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to the reserve yearling heifer champion. That is tag number 270, shown by Julie Damon of Pella, Iowa. And the yearling heifer champion, tag number 277, that is MS Lucy from Jackson Van Hour of Valier, Montana. We're going to bring back all those in contention now to be selected as champion South Devon female and reserve. Welcome back to the show ring, and good luck.
Well, a really nice South Devon female show you've got out here this morning. Maybe not the numbers, but you're big on quality out here, in my opinion. If we could, let's give these exhibitors a little round of applause out here for getting these cattle ready and presenting them. They've done a great job. These females are functional. They're stout. They're modern in terms of their look. They got a lot of future to them and a lot of longevity, and I think you see that all the way across out here. We've got the red heifer that came out of our first division, as we talked about her before. One that I think from an eye appeal and a balance standpoint, she fits the bill quite well. Really pretty up through that front end, yet at the same time, she's got all the things we're looking for. She's got some body. She's built right structurally from the ground up. Still stout and good looking and looks like a female. The heifer that came out right behind her is one that comes out, and you really like the way she's put together. She's an up-headed, long neck kind of a female, one that's sound on her feet and legs and smooth the point of her shoulder, real long and level and functional back through her hip. And then the female that just came out of our last class or last division out here, when you stand back and you study her, you like the broodiness, you like the power about her. She's pulled apart underneath in terms of her skeleton. She's one that's got some width and thickness up high, but at the same time, she's the right size for her age out here. I like the way she's put together, and she puts it out here in a real mobile package. My hat's off to you exhibitors and breeders and everybody helping out with this great breed. I'm going to go out and show you the two that I like. Let's give them one more round of applause if we could.
Congratulations to your reserve champion South Devon female right there. That's tag number 277, brought to you by Jackson Van Hour of Valier, Montana. And the champ, your champion South Devon female, tag number 279 from Cade Barney of Klamath Falls, Oregon. We've got just 2 bulls we want to look at right here. Do we want to do that before pictures, Matt? We'll just run them right here. Let's do it. Tag number 271, class number 9, bull calves, January 1st through the end of May of this year. Just a single entry right here, number 271. This is JVM Maverick, brought to us by Julie Devon of Pella, Iowa. $271 and $275. We do welcome you to the show ring. Here we go. I believe we've got 271 coming up right here.
Well, a really nice single entry that comes back out here, and one that I think stout and powerful and rugged in terms of the way that he's built. One that sure is sound-footed. You like the depth of heel he's got and how soft he is in those pasterns and can go. I like him in terms of his underline and how much body he's got, how sappy he is in terms of his rib shape. But to go with that, he's a smooth-shouldered bull that's got some top in him. He's one that's big-hipped and real functional in the way that he's built. Congratulations to you.
Awfully impressive single entry right there. Number 271 from Julie Devon of Pella, Iowa. That's going to be your class champion. We'll go right now to bull calves, calving September 1st through the end of the year, 2023. Sierra Steinlich of Valley Falls, Kansas, brings us tag number 275.
Really nice pattern bull that comes out here in this red calf, and one that's got some length of body to him. He's working some shape behind his shoulders. He's one that's a muscular rascal, as shapely he is through that forearm. Big hipped and one that's wider from stifle to stifle. He can get out and go. You sure like this bull, how large testicled he is, yet he's still clean in terms of his sheath line there. Really nice, impressive individual. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations again to number 275 there. That one is brought to us by the pride of Valley Falls, Kansas, Sierra Steinlich. We're going to go now to select our champion bull and reserve. Open show, be thinking about it. You are on deck. We'll start with class number 2. That's going to be a single entry. Emma Neck out of Malin, Oregon will bring us our single entry in the junior heifer calves, January 1st to the end of February.
Well, two really nice bulls we've got as we come back out here in your South Devon show for your champion bull and reserve. We've got the black bull up front we talked about before. One that I think is really athletic. I like the added body volume he's got to go with that. He's really functional in the way that he's made. A loose structured bull that can get out and cover the ground pretty good. At the same time, he's one that's got some power and some balance to go with it. The Red Bull that comes out right behind him is one you sure like from a muscularity standpoint. He's smooth-shouldered. He's long-necked. He's one that's got some top, and he's thick-ended about him. He's one that gives you a good look from the side. I think you've got some trade-offs out here. I'm going to go out and take one more look, and I'll show you the one that I like for champion, then we'll get you reserve.
Congratulations to our champion bull, tag number 271 from Julie Damon of Pella, Iowa. That is JVM Maverick. And finishing in reserve at tag number 275 from Sierra Steinlicht of Valley Falls, Kansas. That'll work. A little change in the lineup. We're going to do our showmanship division right here. Looks like we've just got to believe one class in showmanship. Yes, it is. One class of showmanship. We're going to welcome to the Ford show ring Jenna Damon and Jane Damon, as well as Jackson Van Auer, Kylie Scholes, Peyton Volkman, Cade Barney, Zane Downey, Julie Damon, and Sierra Steinlicht. We'll welcome you in, and good luck in the showmanship.
We're going to let these three work out here just a minute longer, then we'll go out and pick you a champion and reserve and a third overall. Before we do that, if you could, folks, help me out. Let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause out here. This was a stout group of showmanship from top to bottom. As I've done in the other breeds and as I've always done in showmanship, I do it a little bit differently than most judges. Usually when I pull them in, I talk about some things that I could see you could change to help you and your animal out here. We spend a minute or a few seconds talking about what we're seeing. I think that's always a lot easier. I know with kids at home and boys trying to show, it seems like when anybody but dad would talk to them one-on-one about what to do differently, they absorbed it a little bit betterly. But more importantly, I think the thing that was so cool about this group out here is even if you had cattle that weren't wanting to lead or weren't wanting to cooperate, the person behind them would always help them out, and that's what it's all about. There's showmanship, but there's sportsmanship, and that comes into a big part of showing livestock. And animals are just like people. It's first thing in the morning. They might not want to wake up and do what you practiced at home. And when that happens, I stand back and see how cool and calm you are and how you work through it. It's been a great group out here. I'm going to go out and show you the ones that I like for champion, reserve, and third overall. Before we do that, we wrap this up. Let's give another big round of applause. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to our reserve and our champion. In reserve, Julie Damon. In reserve, showmanship, and your showman champion today, Kate Barney. And congratulations not only to our champions, but to all of the outstanding showmen here in the showmanship division. And with that, I believe that Matt is going to head over to the backdrop, and we're going to bring Amanda in, and we'll get started with the open show. I would anticipate that there's going to be just a short delay right here while people get the appropriate cattle brought forth, but at your leisure, we can go in with class number 2 of our open show. Going to be a single entry right there from Imanek of Mellon, Oregon, bringing EGR money for nothing. First call for the open show. South Devon Open Show. We are eagerly anticipating your arrival. Our first class in, just a single entry right here. Class number 2, junior heifer calves. Calved in January or February. We're going to look at a February calf right here from Emma Neck of Mountain, Oregon. EGR, money for nothing. While we are anticipating our South Devon show, just a couple of things to let you in on. First of all, club calf buyers, club calf sellers, you'll want to be heading up to the pavilion by 2 o'clock for the sale. And if you are taking a calf out there, the way you want to get there with the construction going on is you go out the wash bay and then just hug the expo center real tight all the way up to the pavilion. That'll get you there in good shape. Again, that is for the club calves. Just stay right up out of the wash bay, hug right up to the expo center through the construction, and it'll get you up to the pavilion for the sale. And again, that sale takes place at 2 o'clock. On kind of a personal note, not quite a personal note, but an item of interest for you. If you're wandering around the trade show in here, you'll want to stop by the Nutrilix booth and say hey to Mr. George Yost. It is George's birthday today. So make sure that you go over and give George a good handshake. And he might catch him in a good mood. He might just cut you a heck of a deal on some feed. But a happy birthday to George Yost. Go over and talk to him at the Nutrilix booth. And my guess is you'll be glad that you did. Also, if there are loved and dear ones in your world that can't be here in the Expo Center with us for the show, take heart, because they can watch it online. All they got to do is go to showbarnflix.com. All the shows are being streamed live on showbarnflix.com or on the Show Barn Flix Facebook page, whichever one you want to do. But they're all free, and you can go back and watch anytime. Show Barn Flix. putting everything out on the World Wide Web for us. And if you're out there watching on the World Wide Web, hello from Billings, Montana. Happy that you could join us. Next Level Images getting all of your photos here for our 2024 NILE. They've got an office set up in the northeast corner of the building. Head on down there and check out what they've got for you. If you've been showing cattle here this week, I guarantee you they've got several excellent shots of you, and they would be happy to show you what they got. With that, we are going to turn the floor over to Amanda Schnorr. She is our judge for the South Devon Show.
Another single entry here as we start the open show. Just a nice built female. It's feminine. Honestly, I think she's in the right condition. I like when they're a little green and a little more room there to grow. That's a good female. It's built extra good and feminine featured. Look forward to seeing that single entry come back.
Congratulations to a nice single entry right there from Emanek of Mellon, Oregon. That's going to be your junior heifer calf champion. We'll go right ahead here now to class number 4, intermediate heifer calves. September and October babies right here. Going to look at a September calf. This one from DLCC Ranch of Perez, New Mexico. This is DLCC Lovey-Dovey.
Another single entry as she just comes in. Look at the mass that she has and the power she has. She's one that's wide-pinned and good-bodied, maybe a little plainer up through that base of her chest floor. But, man, that's a tremendous cow. It's going to be a nice brood cow for him. Let's congratulate that single entry.
Tag 102 there, Lovey-Dovey going to be your intermediate champion from DLCC Ranch of Perez, Minnesota. On to late summer heifers here. Got 2 of them to take a look at. Couple of July calves here. Jackson Van Hour from Valier, Montana. Bringing us Frazier Wright, Zoe 2. As well as from Whitefield Farms of Wadena, Minnesota. We're going to be looking at WF Lulu.
Only 2 heifers in here, and they're both truly different in terms of their body type and where they're at in the condition aspect of things. I've said this in previous shows. You add that show halter on them, you got to have a little more balance, a little more look, and that's where this female here, for me, has that. She is really neat from the outside looking in. I love her lines, love the length to her hip, her structural integrity. Does she have the depth of body as a heifer in front of her? She doesn't, and that's where we could criticize her. Add a little more depth of flank. Big-bodied one that comes next in second. I love her in terms of her center body. Maybe a little plainer up through that front 1/3. She gets a little tight there behind her shoulder, and that's where we'd like to fix her. 2 really nice females. I think it's close. I just like the extra show pizzazz that one has to win this particular class.
Congratulations to our first and second there in the class. That's going to bring us to class number 6. Early summer heifer calves. Going to take a look at a couple of June calves right here from DLCC Ranch of Perez, New Mexico, Minnesota. It's going to be DLCC Claire. And from Sierra Steinlich to Valley Falls, Kansas, we will look at WGF Lulu.
Little harder pair to sort through, I think. I think both of them bring some things to the table that I like. There's one from her midrib backs just a notch better, and then one from her midrib forwards just a notch better. So for me, I think the extra power, the extra mention, this heifer out here in front's going to win this class. I like her from her midrib back. She's better through her hip and hind leg, the way she's assembled. I like the extra length that she has through those hooks to pins. Maybe a little bolder in that shoulder, and we could change that about her and tuck that shoulder back into her. Change the base of her chest and pull that back up. But man, her extra length aside and the extra width of base, I really, really like. Red heifer's nice, don't get me wrong. If you want one that's good looking, you want one that's maybe a little fresher, more genuine in terms of her condition, grab her. She is neat through the front 1/3. She's better through her throat latch to the base of her chest. To be honest, so from her midrib back, she gets herself beat. She's a little off in her hooks to pins, kind of closes up at the base of her skeleton. Need to see that one just a tad wider. But nice females. Let's congratulate them.
Couple of very impressive entries right there in our early summer heifers calves. We're going to go right now to make selection of your summer heifer champion and reserve. Welcome back to the show ring, all those that are in contention.
We bring these class winners back out, and tremendous in terms of their look and their body. You know, something I noticed about this breed, and I talk a lot about length of side and length through their hooks and pins. All the cattle that have came through that have that extra length, and I think that is a good thing. For me, though, the extra wow factor, the extra look and design, this heifer out here in front's going to win this division for me. Let's congratulate that young lady. We'll bring that second in and get you a reserve.
Congratulations to your reserve and your summer heifer champion there. Your summer heifer champion going to be tag number 172.
That second behind her comes in, and I think there's just a tad more performance, a tad more substance and power in this one that was second behind the champion. We're going to grab this young man. You're going to be reserved there in that division. Let's congratulate him.
And again, congratulations to the reserve summer heifer calf champion. That's going to bring us to class number 7. Got a pair of entries here as well. We'll look at BC Laramie from Sierra Steinlich of Valley Falls, Kansas, as well as DLCC Lincoln from DLCC Ranch of Perez, Minnesota. This will be your champion junior and reserve champion junior heifers.
This is a division, so we'll talk them as individuals and then place them here at the end. Heifer up here in front in terms of muscle and power. Man, she's got a load of that. She is so good up high in terms of her width of pins and the power working down her spine. Maybe a little rounder hip, a little rounder about that blade, and I'd like to tuck that chest back in her. But if you want a female pack full of muscle, grab a hold of her and go. Really highly presented one that comes next behind her. I love the length of spine. I love the length. I love the way this one balances up on the top part of her skeleton, but also down low. From her chest to her midrib back to her flank, she may be a tad more feminine featured the way that front end's assembled. So I think it makes it close because they're two different types of females. One that has the power and one that has the look and the feminine featured. For me, we're going to lay our hat on one that's a little more fresher, a little more youthful. We're going to grab you for champion, and then we'll grab you up there for reserve. Let's congratulate them.
Congratulations to the DLCC Ranch there, Perez, Minnesota, with your champion junior heifer. That is DLCC Lincoln. And in reserve out of Valley Falls, Kansas, Sierra Steinlich with Laramie. Going to go look at a cow-calf pair right here from Pella, Iowa, JVM Cattle Company.
Just a single entry. Man, as that cow comes in, well, that is a cow, guys. If we talked about practicality and just turn them out and have functional cows, this is the kind you want. She has a good old bull calf on the side of her that has that performance to them. She's done an excellent job. And compliments to the exhibitors. I know it's hard getting a pair ready, and you got her in show rig ready. So congratulations to that single entry. That's a nice pair there.
That'll be your cow-calf pair champion. Congratulations, and we'll invite back into the show ring all those that are in contention for selection of champion South Devon female.
Smaller show than what we've had the last few days, but when you get back and you start to study these division champions, compliments to you exhibitors. I think these are really, really nice cattle. I think their functionality, they got some practicality to them, but at the same time, they maintain a show look. Let's just visit about each one of them, and then we'll get you a champion reserve. The one that comes out of the calf division, extremely neat. I think one that's got some youthfulness to her. I think she's just going to get better and better as time goes on. Look at her through that front 1/3 and the way that neck and head come out of the top part of her shoulder. She is so good in terms of her lines. When you get her back out here and start to compare, does she give up a little bit? Yeah, but you got to keep in mind she's young. She's young and pretty green, and I think she's going to be fun, especially when she comes back here next year. After they comes out of that division, I think that was didn't have the numbers in that particular division, but muscle and power and width is written all over. When you get behind that female, she is so wide pinned, and she's got so much good dimension up high of that rib cage. I guess where she get a little critical of her is when you get on the side of her, her underlying balance don't balance up. That chest kind of drops. drops and that flank tucks up. I'd like to change that about her. I'd like to drop that rear flank, tuck that chest floor back up into her. But, man, that's a super powerful one there out of the Division 2. Division 3 is show ready. And you know, I think it makes it hard when we look at show cattle. We add that extra show halter on them. We want them to be flashy. We want them to have the extra look. And that one does that. That one's really neat on the outside looking in. She's got that good hip and hind leg in her. She balances up extremely well. Is she as zipper fronted as some other ones out here? No. And we probably could lengthen her front end out ever so slightly. But, man, she is still good in terms of her lines. Really nice profiling one out of that next division. I think one from the outside looking in has the extra length of spine to her that I like, has the extra length of hooks and pins. When you get her going, she's still correct in terms of her mobility. I guess when you get behind her, she's a little flatter in that rib cage, a little flatter up high. Like to see a little more muscle, and that's a personal thing. I think that's what makes it fun when you have someone do the junior show and open show back to back. You get to get two different opinions, and for me, I just like to see a little more pop and boldness in that upper part of her hip. Man, he just told me that this is a pretty mature cow. I think he said this is a 2009 model. I guarantee you, if we all had 2009 models that look like this at home, we would all get into this breed. That thing still has that show presence about her. I think when we get to these mature cows and they still hold their top line as well as she does, she's still good in terms of her teats. I like her behind her blade. I think that thing is so good for her age out here. When we bring them back out here and compare, it's hard to get a cow-calf that's this fresh and this youthful and still maintains that show look, because she is a lot older than them, and she does that, and you can tell she's put a lot of energy and a good bull calf on the side of her. I mean, it gets it tough when you get a good pair out here and you compete against these heifer calves. So great breed. I think it's been awesome to look through your cattle. Yes, we haven't had the numbers and we had some smaller classes, so it went a little quicker than normal. But congratulations to you guys. You should be proud to have these cattle at the end of your halter. I think they're tremendous. Let's put our hands together and we'll get you a champion reserve.
Congratulations to our reserve champion, South Devon female, as well as the champion, South Devon female. Amanda, do you want to do picks now or go right to the bull show? Doing the bull show. I like it. Junior bull calves, calve on January 1st and following. We're going to bring in Maverick from Pella, Iowa, and the JVM Cattle Company, and Emma Nack of Malin, Oregon. He's going to bring his EGE Marshall Dillon. This will be your bull calf champion and reserve. Late summer bull calves, you're on deck. DLCC Lexington, the lone bull in that class.
This is a division as well, so let's just talk each one of them. A bull up here at front, we saw him on that cow earlier, and that is a nice bull. He's big-bodied, he's deep-sided. He's more your functional type of look to him. Maybe don't have that extra zipper fronted like the bull behind him, but he has more body, he has more power, has more width of base when you step behind him. Yeah, would we like to stretch him out, maybe blend that shoulder in him nicer? We would, but man, that is super good-bodied bull there up front. The Red Bull's interesting to me, and some people might say, man, that thing has got that show look to him, and he does. He's presented excellent. His head and neck come right out of the top of his blade, his extra length of spine. To be honest, though, I think when we get him back out here, he needs more time. I think he just needs to hit that feed bunk a little harder, kind of fill out there in his midrib, especially in that form and heart. Sometimes he wants to get a little straighter in that blade and knee, and I'd like to tuck that back in him. But, man, that is a good-looking bull. These are two different types of bulls, so I think it really comes down to personal preference. I like the extra body, the extra mass. We're going to grab this black bull up here in front, and he's going to be your champion. We'll grab that flashy one, and he'll be reserved. Let's congratulate them. They're both nice bulls.
Excellent pair right there for your reserve bull and your bull calf champion. Congratulations. That's going to bring us to class number 14. We'll welcome the DLCC Ranch out of Perez, Minnesota with DLCC Lexington.
Just a single entry, and as he comes in, man, that is a good structure, good moving bull. I like his lines, his balance. You know, I'm big on taking sure they're right behind their blade, has that width and that power and that strength all the way back to their hip. That bull does that very, very good. He still maintains a look and that depth of body. That's a good bull. Look forward to seeing him come back as well.
And we will bring back to the show ring those in contention for selection of champion South Devon bull. Junior pound maker heifer calves, you're on deck. Kate Barney, White Fila Farms, and Emma Neck.
Two really nice division winners, and honestly, they kind of mirror each other in terms of body depth and kind of their body composition. One's maybe a tad better looking from a profile view. One's a little better there behind his shoulder and blade that I like to see in terms of his form and heart. For me, there's a lot of quality in this older bull. This older bull, for me, is going to be your champion. He was the only one in that division, so we're going to swing around and grab that calf, and he's going to be reserved. Let's congratulate them.
Congratulations to both our reserve champion and our champion South Devon bull. That's going to bring us to the pound makers. Junior pound maker heifer calves. These are January and February calves. Oops, going to take a quick break right here for photos. Then we'll be back. I believe that we are good to go again into the last section of our show here this afternoon. This is class number 21, Junior Pound Maker Heifer Calves. Capital January through the end of February. I believe we're going to have two here from Whitefield Farms of Wadena, New Mexico, Minnesota, as well as one from Emmeneck of Mountain, Oregon. From Minnesota, it is WF Mango 3M and EGR Moonlight 405M from Emmeneck. We also Cade Barney of Klamath Falls, Oregon here. Class number 21, Junior Pound Maker Heifers.
This is a division, so we're not going to really talk it as a class. We're going to talk them each as a class winner. So the heifer up here in front, the black heifer, is one standing there as I love her look. I love her depth of body. I love the way she ties up in her hooks to pins. Maybe a little rigid there in her movement in terms of her hock and pastern set. But, man, that's the one got some depth and got some mass to her. That's a nice female. If we want to talk about cow power and we want to talk about width and dimension, grab this yellow heifer. She is the higher performing female of the trio that are out here and still maintains a show look. I think she is really, really neat when you get behind her and see how bold she is up high. Gets a little straighter there in her hock, and we could change that about her as well. But, man, that thing is packed full of muscle. This red heifer, man, young man, you got some good cattle. I think they just need more time on feed because they got the presentation. They are good-looking rascals that are built so good. They're sound structured. They just need more time to kind of fill out and bold up. They got the pieces in the show ring of terms of look and profile. I just need to get a little more body in that red heifer. So I think it gets a little more challenging out here when you compare the three because they're all at different stages of the game in terms of weight per day of age. I think for me in this particular class and division, let's look at future. Let's see which ones bring the most to the table as a future. I'm going to grab that cream color for my champion. She's going to be champion out here. She is too powerful, too bold to kind of look past. I think it's very, very close on reserve. I'm going to go with one that's got a little more longevity, a little more correct at the ground in terms of her mobility, real feminine featured. If everything comes together and she gets filled out, that thing is going to be a good rascal. Young man, you're going to be reserve in this division. Let's congratulate them.
Congratulations to our reserve champion junior heifer calf and our champion junior heifer calf. That's going to bring us to class number 26, junior yearling pound maker heifer calves. At last report, we were missing one from JVM Cattle Company of Pella, Iowa. JVM Lily, you are needed at the staging area. We're going to welcome in the rest of the class right here. From Valier, Montana, Jackson Van Hour, bringing us JVH MS Lucy. DLCC Ranch out of Perez, Minnesota, bringing us DLCC Jenny. And we sure hope to see the entry from JVM Cattle Company of Pella, Iowa, JVM Lily.
Another division out here, and we get these three stopped and pulled together. Talk about the one up here in front. If we want to talk about mass and depth and power and boldness, we tie to that one pretty fast. I think that one's got a tremendous amount of rib cage in her. She's really, really wide when you step behind her. Is she a little plainer up front and got a little more chest? She is, and that's where we'd like to freshen her up there. She's putting on a little more condition, but man, if you want one powerful, you grab a hold of that one and go. The red heifer in the middle maybe gets outperformed if we want to talk about weight per day of age. She's one that's really nice and feminine featured. I guess when you get underneath her and steady her from her chest to her midrib back to her flank, her underneath balance isn't as correct as I'd like at this stage of the game, but man, that's a good looking one. Way her head and neck come out of her blade, her top line, her hooks to pins. Just wish she had a little more body. We talk about fresh and youthful, and we add these show halters onto them, and I like them zipper fronted. That's just one thing about me. I love the way that one's necktie is high at the point of her shoulder. She's good in her throat latch. She's good in her lines. Her hip and hind leg is assembled correctly. When we get behind her, that's where she disappoints you. She kind of wants to close up at the base of her skeleton. She's not as powerful up high in terms of her hip and hooks to pins as I'd like. But man, if you want to show one on the outside, grab a hold of her and run. So when you get back here and you got to compare the three and get you two out of here, I think it gets challenging because they don't really mirror each other. They don't really complement each other in any ways, but each one of them brings something different to the table. I think it's hard to look past the mass and the boldness. Young man up there in front, you're going to be our division champion. We're going to come grab this flashy one back here for reserve.
Congratulations to Jackson Van Hour of Valier, Montana, with MS Lucy going to be your champion, and reserve goes to Pella, Iowa, and the JVM Cattle Company, JVM Lily. We're going to bring back now those in contention for champion, pound maker heifer, and reserve.
As these division winners get stopped and pulled together, let's visit about them. The cream-colored one, man, that is a super powerful. I love her underneath in terms of her bone size, her foot size. When we get this one pulled together and set up, she still maintains a look maybe not as good on her feet and legs in terms of her mobility, and we could change her there, but I think that is one that still gives some unique pieces in the show ring in terms of power, bone, and foot size. Nice cow here in the next behind her out of Division II. Big-bodied, she's deep-sided, she's one that's got some performance to her. I guess when we get back and we start to look at uniqueness and the extra wow factors in the ring, a little smaller footed, a little smaller bone, maybe got a little more waist there up in the front 1/3. So it gets to be tough. You got one that's unique and kind of got that show look to her with the extra power, and then you got one that's a little more mature and got body and depth. You guys make your choices along ringside. I think for me personally, I like the extra power. I like the extra bone. We're going to grab that cream color one as your champion, and then we'll bring that calf in and find your reserve. As that reserve comes in behind, I told you that one's got a bright future ahead of her. If you guys are looking for a show female, that's the one you grab a hold of. She is so young and immature still, but man, next year she's going to be fun. Young man, don't give up on that heifer. That one's good, but there's too much power, too much cow performance. We're going to grab you for reserve. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to Jackson Van Hour of Valier, Montana, going to be your reserve at pound maker champion right there. And your Champion pound maker heifer goes to Mango of Whitefield Farms, Wadena, Minnesota. We'll go right ahead here to Class 30 junior pound maker bull calves. Single entry right here, WF Blackjack 4M from Whitefield Farms of Wadena, Minnesota. This will be your junior bull calf champion. Sierra Steinleck of Valley Falls, Kansas. You'll be on deck with class number 32.
These are all your division winners here in the Bull Show. Instead of just bringing one in at a time, we brought all three of them together, and we'll talk about each one of them. The one that comes out of the calf division, man, that's got Show Bull written all over it. The way his head and neck come out of his blade, his length of spine, his length of hip, then get underneath his skeleton. Look how big-footed and big bone he is. Is he as bold in that center body? No, he's not. But I think there's a lot of room to grow. If he hits that feed bunk hard, that bull is going to be one heck of a show bull that adds some unique pieces in terms of show atmosphere. That thing is cool looking. The bull in the middle is one that Division II. He's a fall bull. I think he's really good in terms of his testicular development. I think he's good in terms of his center body, his boldness. He's more of your practical kind of bull. He's one that's got the ruggedness. He's got the blown apart in terms of his rib cage. We just need to make him just a tad more flashy, a tad better out of his hip and hind leg, add a little more bone and foot underneath him. But young lady, that's a powerful bull. Be proud to own that one. The big mature bull is one that still holds himself together. I like him in terms of his running gear. I like him when he gets out and goes. He's correct in his shoulder and his knee. He's good in his hip and hind leg. He's good in his center body. Maybe a little more jammed up there in his front end and maybe jammed up in his hip. But, man, that thing for being that stout and that powerful, he is so good in terms of his running gear. So it makes that bull show just a little more challenging. I think today in this particular lineup of bulls, there's more substance, there's no more power. We're going to use your mature bull as your champion, and then I love how good-looking that bull is up front. We're going to grab him for reserve. Let's congratulate those exhibitors. One heck of a bull show that we've seen here in this division.
Congratulations to WF Blackjack. Going to be your reserve champion. And the champion is tag number 111 from JVM Cattle Company, Pella, Iowa, JVM Landslide. We'll take just a hot second here to get some photos at the backdrop. And then we'll come back and complete our South Devon show with a pair of yearlings, a couple of get a sire classes, and a breeder's herd. We are going to bring in our final classes here. Welcome in a pair of yearlings right here, class number 39. Got a pair from JVM Cattle Company of Pella, Iowa, one from Jackson Vanower of Valier, Montana, and a final pair from DLCC Ranch of Perez, Minnesota.